Ed Balls told off by Susanna Reid after comment on Lorraine Kelly's Buns. Good Morning Britain presenter Susanna Reid was forced to step in after Ed Balls' comment to Lorraine Kelly about her buns. Susanna Reid had to intervene following a remark made by her co-host Ed Balls on Good Morning Britain today. The hosts were previewing Lorraine Kelly's forthcoming ITV program, during which Lorraine discussed her breast cancer campaign, encouraging viewers to self-check and identify early symptoms of the disease. This follows a topless photo shoot Lorraine participated in to raise awareness, with ice buns concealing her breasts. Referring to the campaign, Lorraine said, "Good morning to you, I have been getting my buns out, sorry about that, for a very important reason." In response, Ed told Lorraine, "Great pair of buns there, I thought." Lorraine retorted, "You needed big ones, Ed, considerably bigger ones." "They look like those buns have risen beautifully," he replied, to which Lorraine said, "They have, thank you." After an awkward pause as the camera returned to the Good Morning Britain studio, Susanna cautioned Ed, "You know we're on television," reports Wales Online. "I was just joining in," Ed said. He later said on Lorraine's show, "I'm on my best behavior, having said that your buns were well risen, and being told off by Susanna on Good Morning Britain half an hour ago, I'm now being incredibly careful." This follows Lorraine joking that her team would be traumatized by her topless shoot, which was part of the National Check Your Boobs Day initiative within Lorraine's Change Plus Check campaign. She shared, "I just loved this idea. It's cheeky and funny and is a nod to the wonderful calendar girls. It also gave me the chance to say the iconic line, 'We're going to need considerably bigger buns.'" Discussing her experience, Lorraine said, "I didn't feel in any way vulnerable or uncomfortable as I was with my team, who are my friends, and our amazing photographer had also gone through breast cancer herself. My editor Victoria asked if I was comfortable being filmed and I told her I was fine, but to check with the crew in case they would be traumatized. It was all very lighthearted, and after all, it's all about getting the Change Plus Check message across." The morning atmosphere on Good Morning Britain is usually a blend of heated debates, sobering headlines, and the occasional light-hearted banter. But one particular broadcast saw former Labour MP turned TV personality Ed Balls stepping firmly on a banana skin of live television etiquette. What was intended as a cheeky aside ended up spiraling into one of those moments destined to be clipped, shared, and dissected endlessly across social media. It started innocuously enough. Lorraine Kelly, a national treasure with her trademark warmth and Scottish charm, had just wrapped up her usual preview segment ahead of Lorraine. She chatted about the lineup on her show, celebrity guests, lifestyle pieces, and even a cooking demonstration involving freshly baked goods. It was this last detail that gave Ed Balls his ill-fated opening. With Lorraine signing off in her upbeat manner, "See you just after 9, we've got some delicious buns on the show today." Ed Balls turned to co-presenter Susanna Reid with a mischievous grin. "Well," he quipped, "Lorraine's buns are always the talk of the morning." There was a half-second pause, the sort that only trained broadcasters and sharp-eyed viewers notice. Susanna's eyes widened just enough to convey, "Oh no you didn't," before she swiftly interjected. "Ed," she exclaimed, in the tone of a teacher catching a pupil doodling rude cartoons in the back of the classroom. "That is not what Lorraine meant, and you know it." The studio erupted in awkward laughter, Richard Arnold hiding his face behind his notes, the crew chuckling audibly off camera. Ed, realizing his joke had sailed far too close to the line, raised his hands in mock surrender. "I meant the pastries. The pastries," he insisted, though his grin betrayed a man who knew the damage was already done. The telling off. Susanna, ever the professional, wasted no time steering the ship back on course, but not before landing her own jab. "Honestly, Ed," she said, "you cannot go around making comments about Lorraine Kelly's buns on national television. She'll have your head for that." The remark sparked a playful yet pointed exchange. Susanna leaned into her role as the voice of reason, while Ed tried, unsuccessfully, to charm his way out of the faux pas. "I was just celebrating her baking skills," he protested. "She makes a mean scone too." The viewers, however, were already lighting up social media with their own takes. Within minutes, Ed Balls was trending on X, formerly Twitter, memes flying fast and furious. One user quipped, "Lorraine's buns are sacred, Ed. Show some respect." Another shared a gif of Lorraine herself raising an eyebrow, captioned, "When you hear Ed talking about your buns before 8 a.m. Lorraine responds. The story didn't end there. Lorraine Kelly, never one to let a cheeky gag go unanswered, addressed the incident on her own show just after 9 a.m. With a twinkle in her eye, she opened with, "Well, thank you very much, Ed Balls. My buns are indeed very popular, but today they come with icing, sugar and jam." The studio audience roared, and Lorraine chuckled, making it clear she was in on the joke while gently reminding Ed who really ruled morning television. She even teased that she might send him a tray of her famous buns to Good Morning Britain, provided he promised to behave. A classic breakfast TV moment. The incident instantly joined the pantheon of unscripted breakfast TV bloopers. Piers Morgan storming off set, Richard Madeley's Alan Partridge-esque tangents, and now Ed Balls' ill-judged bun commentary. What made it resonate was the sheer relatability of it. A slip of the tongue, a playful jab, and a colleague swooping in to apply the brakes before things careened too far into tabloid Ed Balls' sometimes clumsy, affable style. He is, after all, the man who gifted the world Ed Balls Day, the annual online celebration marking the time he accidentally tweeted his own name and nothing else. In that sense, his bun blunder was perfectly on brand. A silly, slightly embarrassing, but ultimately harmless moment that reminded audiences why live TV remains so compelling. Susanna as the ringmaster. What stood out most was Susanna Reid's handling of the situation. She has long mastered the art of balancing gravitas with levity, moving seamlessly from grilling politicians to laughing off her co-host's antics. Her mock scolding of Ed not only saved him from further embarrassment but also cemented her as the steady hand at the GMB helm. Her reaction was part maternal, part comedic, and entirely effective. She managed to both protect Lorraine Kelly's dignity and turn the slip into a memorable TV highlight. Social media praised her. "Susanna Reid is the nation's supply teacher, always ready with a telling off when the boys get out of line," one viewer wrote. The aftermath. By lunchtime, news outlets were gleefully reporting on the saga. Headlines ranged from the playful, "Ed Balls in hot water over Lorraine's buns," to the mock serious, "Susanna Reid scolds co-host for inappropriate pastry remark." Lorraine herself, never one to take things too seriously, doubled down by posting a picture of actual buns cooling on a tray with a caption, "Hands off Ed." Ed, to his credit, leaned into the humor. On his own social channels, he posted a picture of himself with a tray of supermarket buns and the caption, "Apologies to Lorraine, we'll stick to these from now on." The self-deprecation went down well, earning him a flood of laughing emojis and reassurances that all was forgiven. Why it worked. In an era where TV personalities are often scrutinized for every slip of the tongue, what saved this moment was the clear lack of malice. Ed Balls wasn't being crude or disparaging, just cheeky. Susanna Reid's sharp intervention kept it from spiraling, and Lorraine's good-natured follow-up ensured it landed as comedy, not controversy. It also revealed something deeper about the charm of breakfast television. Viewers tune in not just for news, but for human moments. They want the unscripted, the slip-ups, the laughter. In a way, Ed's bun blunder was the perfect antidote to the heavy political stories dominating the headlines that week. Conclusion. By the end of the day, Ed Balls had survived his latest brush with infamy. Susanna Reid had once again proven her mettle as Britain's breakfast TV queen, and Lorraine Kelly's buns, both literal and metaphorical, had never been more famous. It was a story of timing, tone, and teamwork. Ed providing the gaffe, Susanna providing the correction, and Lorraine providing the punchline. Together, they reminded viewers why live television endures in an age of on-demand streaming. Because no scriptwriter in the world could have planned such a perfectly British moment of humor, embarrassment, and gentle rebuke. And as for Ed Balls, he'll likely think twice before making another pastry-based pun. Then again, this is Ed Balls we're talking about. Perhaps next time it'll be Lorraine's scones, or Susanna's sandwiches. Either way, one thing is certain. Britain will be watching, mugs of tea in hand, ready to laugh along when the next unscripted gem unfolds before breakfast.